Hey guys, it's Paul, combat veteran, MMA fighter, YouTuber, and caffeine addict. And today we are checking out the fight for the Sawmill. This is the third video in the Crash Maul series, and I am pumped. But before we get started, first off, I have new shirts. As you can see, we have some cool new designs. And also, so you should definitely check that out. But also, we launched a Discord. Check the link down below. We have a new Discord out where we have cursed images, Team Fortress 2 memes, art. We also have games running and all sorts of stuff going on. So definitely check it out. It is definitely a fun time. So having done that, let's get into it. Okay, I love how Crash Maul is like, I'm now so big that I need my own branded intro. I appreciate the eerie cinematic, like, tension-building intro here. 3 months ago, Blue takes control of the Watchtower against all odds. So that's probably Rise of Epic Scout. 1 month ago, 2 Fort falls to red thanks to an engineer and his hulking pet. That's probably taming the Rabid engineer, or heavy taming engineer. Okay, I just want to point out that I know everyone loves using the generic chuk-chuk sign for readying any weapon for combat, and some weapons that's the case, right? In obviously a shotgun, sometimes, because again, you need, if it's a pump action and you've cleared it, you can ready it for, you can chamber around by pumping the action, right? But of course, if you were shooting it and then stopped and put the safety on, pumping it is just going to cycle a live round, and you'll just have one less round in your tube. For something like in this case, a drum-fed grenade launcher, it doesn't make a ton of sense because usually you fire it and it automatically cycles to the next grenade. So by sort of dry cycling it, all you're going to do is have a live grenade, all the empty chambers, all the live chambers, and so you've just wasted a shot, right? You'll have one less shot, one less grenade in succession. You'll have to click through like 3 empty chambers to get to the live one again. So it doesn't make a ton of sense. Okay, this is maybe the only time Spy is ever depicted as standing for Scout. Okay, shout out to Pyro having the Splinter Cell mask. That's pretty sick. Oh, and a Heavy rocking a Skyrim helm. And that's how it feels every time I try to kill a scout. Okay, wait, can Scout actually deflect an RPG like that? Scout. Yeah, Scout. I, as far as I know, it's only Air Blast that can deflect rounds. Also, what's interesting is you can actually counter RPG rounds, but not by deflecting them. Instead, there's 2 tools that militaries use to fight, I say RPG rounds, any sort of anti-tank like rocket-launched explosive. And the first is to use what's sometimes called reactive armor, and that is, like when I was in Afghanistan, they had actually netting that they had our MATVs get equipped with. And it had these like quarter-sized pieces of metal sort of suspended in the netting. And the idea was that an RPG would hit one of those little metal studs and detonate prematurely, and giving us about 6 inches before anything from the RPG would hit the armor. And because it detonated prematurely, it wouldn't form the shaped explosive that would allow it to penetrate our vehicle's armor. The other way of stopping them is what is, I'm trying to think of the term for it. Anyway, it's a missile system that's basically a minigun attached to a radar. And the radar detects incoming, often mortars and rockets and RPGs, and will dial in on its exact location, and then will fire the minigun at sort of to meet the projectile. And the thought is this hail of lead, thousands of rounds of lead, will eventually just hit the projectile and detonate it prematurely. Yeah, screw that demo night. Damn demo nights. Thanks. Dark. Okay, I love that. Let's see if we can see it. I love that they got this reload exactly right. You notice how the weapon was empty, the slide was to the rear, the chamber was visibly empty, and Scout dropped his expended magazine, inserted a new one, and dropped the slide forward. In fact, it's so correct that you can even see the hammer is up in the gun, or in the pistol, just like it would be in real life. I love that just Team Fortress 2 just randomly gets some details like extremely, extremely accurate, and then it's completely preposterous in other ones. Oh, damn. I love how the blue Scout is actually pale blue. I love the Sonic reference. Okay, so I want to point out that in the UFC, right, we have weight classes for a reason. And that's because when people of different sizes try to fight each other hand to hand, it still overwhelmingly favors, if they're both trained, it favors the bigger person. And that's, of course, because strength and gravity are an advantage all their own. And a lot of people, a lot of video games, they will show smaller characters as being like faster. And that's only partially correct. What it is that when you have lighter, less body mass, you actually have improved cardio. Your cardio output is much greater. Again, so someone like Scout would be able to, let's say, run a mile faster, or would be able to run many more miles than someone with the heavy's body mass. And we kind of see that we saw that for a time in the UFC's heavyweight division, where for a long time it would be these 265-pound, just gigantic dudes who were just like all muscle, Shane Carwin and Brock Lesnar. And then you saw fighters like Cain Velasquez come in and dethrone them. And Cain Velasquez was able to do it because he was only 235, but he had this incredibly enhanced cardio, right? His lower body mass, that extra 30 pounds that he didn't have to carry, allowed him to just continue the fight longer. And so he would routinely finish other fighters in the second round as those conventional heavyweights became totally exhausted trying to sustain themselves. Because when you're that big, even if you're trained and in shape, you're only going to be able to produce at maximum strength for like maybe 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Okay, I love how when it hit the heavy, it just created sparks and knocked him back. Like, it's a blade. What is heavy made out of? Oh man, it's the cowboy engineer. That's a Chad move, right? The sunglasses, even though it's dark and raining outside. Also, in case you haven't noticed, I've been basically binge watching the crypto Wojak videos. So everything now is like a Chad to me. I think it's hilarious. Okay, that sort of got the reloading correct. Normally what people will do is they will rotate the chamber, draw out every expended round, and then insert one new round. Like they'll empty every chamber in the cylinder, then they'll load every chamber in the cylinder. But I guess it's possible to do one at a time, right? Like round out, new round in, round out, new round in. But normally you have to kind of hook them and pull them out a little bit. They don't. Or you have you use two hands and you have the oh my gosh, it's a spring-loaded ejector. It's a little pin you press down and it spits out the expended cartridge. Okay, also want to point out that if you got shot through the hand like that, one, there's probably a lot of surrounding damage, but two, the hand has a lot of moving parts, a lot of delicate moving parts. And if you had a hole punched in it, you can see it would at the very least destroy this tendon and knuckle. So you definitely wouldn't be able to squeeze the hand. You almost certainly wouldn't be able to do much of anything with this finger, and you probably would lose some function in the other two. So at most, you should definitely dress a wound, but the idea that he's going to be able to close his hand after that or operate his weapon is probably not realistic. You may be able to like sort of hold your weapon with two hands and maybe use the trigger finger, maybe. And that's not even a pain thing. That's just because literally you need those tendons to work together for your finger to operate. I love how this is straight out of Street Fighter. Oh, interesting. Okay, so Heavy has this like blue vision that lets him see blue players, I guess. Yeah, you know, it's funny. That's one of the things that people don't appreciate is the value in blinding your opponent, both literally, you know, and that's actually, it's so decisive. That's actually why in mixed martial arts and under the unified rules, doctors will step in and if you cannot see out of one or both of your eyes, whether it's because there's a cut and blood's getting in it, whether the eye has been damaged, whether the area above or below is starting to swell shut, that ref will stop the fight because it's so decisive. Also, in military strategic assessment or tactical assessment, being able to stop your enemy's ability to see the battlefield is also huge, especially if you're talking about a large like battalion or brigade sized formation where a commander may not physically see their troops, but they rely on communication and electronics to sort of model where those troops are. If you can destroy their ability to do that, then you can destroy their ability to command troops and to react to your actions. Okay, I gotta say, that one-handed slam around the waist, that's a pure wrestling slam. If you wanted to throw someone like that, there are a lot of waist lock takedowns, but they generally involve locking the waist and hitting what's called a suplex, which is where you drive your waist into them and kind of lift them and then take them down. But you have to have both hands. The one-handed takedown slams, those are wrestling moves, professional wrestling moves that look awesome and take a ton of skill to do, but you need both parties to sort of be in on it for it to work. Also, fun fact, bottles don't really shatter like that anymore. Maybe like old school glass bottles that were like pretty cheaply made, but nowadays if you hit somebody with a bottle, it's just gonna break bones before it breaks bottles. Okay, I love how the heavy like is doing like some sort of cat thing where it's just on its back playing with something. Okay, so that cycling the action sort of made sense because if you pick up a weapon off the battlefield and you don't know how much ammo is left, whether it's been fired, whether there's a round in the chamber, and you don't have a ton of time, you can always cycle the action. And then you know that you've chambered a fresh round, and then you can check the magazine to see how many rounds remain. Oh damn, he finally figured out how to get the blindfold off. Oh, another sonic spinning attack. I appreciate that they're just like, yeah, Engie can't jump like that. But I really appreciate that he picked up the bolt-action rifle, checked to see if it was loaded, re-racked the chamber. Crash Maul really has the weapons operations pretty down in this. And then the reload the shotgun while rotating it, or the lever action, that's something out of Terminator. That's really unsafe. Because think about it. The barrel of the rifle, as you're screwing around with it, points at you. He checked it. How is there a debate? Ah, crafty. Okay, real oil probably won't ignite when you shoot at it. Like, a bullet's hot, but it's not on fire. And also, oil is actually kind of tough to ignite compared to, say, gasoline. Okay, that was pretty cool, the way you could see the explosion before you felt it. That's realistic. Oh, did you see how it actually depicted rounds in the cylinder? That's pretty cool. Whoa. Intense. Oh, of course. I always love how the main character's always in this one unburned area. Ooh, a mysterious savior emerges. Damn, he's ignoring his steak? Wow. Okay, only for a little bit. I love the 1930s jalopy truck. The mysterious savior was Spy, the person standing for him all along, but not helping. Love the creepy xylophone music. Again, really would not be able to close that fist. Ooh, oh guys, that was intense. That was I was getting some serious Street Fighter vibes from those fight scenes. Shout out to Crash Maul for pushing a source filmmaker to its absolute limits. That was a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, be sure to check out the merch store, check out the Discord, and until next time, I will see you guys later.